Look, this the Black Holocaust. I knew it was prophecy. 1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities. Uneven playing field, there'll never be a fair score. Cause in 1619, that's when they declared war. We the 12 tribes, the ones that the promise reaching.
Ezekiel 34 verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus said the Lord God of the shepherds.
This is the Most High telling Ezekiel, man, to prophesy against these pastors, to prophesy against these leaders, man. So this is going back way to the ancient times. It's always been like that, man, right? Our leaders caused us to go astray, man. And it's happening now, right? With Pastor Porkchop and Pastor Chicharron, right? Read.
Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Shall not the shepherds feed the flocks? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed.
They're saying that they clothe themselves with the finest linen, right? With Prada, right? They clothe the first lady of the congregation with Prada shoes and Gucci and all that, right? Flying around with private jets and everything. Read.
But ye feed not the flock.
But they don't feed the flock. Read.
The diseased have not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
They don't do that, right? They don't tell our people that they are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Read.
Neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have
force and with cruelty. How many times have we heard that a pastor has done slept with the wife of one of their parishioners, right? How many times have we heard that? Read.
But with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them, and they were scattered, because there is no shepherd. And they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered.
So because of that, we became meat, right? These heathens were starting to eat it upon us, right? Is that it? Read.
Verse 6. My sheep wandered through all the mountains.
And because of that, we were scattered through all the nations, right? Mountains in the Bible, most of the time, represents nations. Read.
And upon every high hill, yet my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them.
And they don't seek after our people, right? The Bible clearly says that they're after their own pockets, right? Is that it? All the way to 10.
Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, said the Lord God.
So, he's saying to these Christian pastors, as the Most High God lives, read.
Surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves, and fed not my flock. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord God, Behold, I am against the shepherds.
The Most High said he's against these shepherds. The Most High said he's against these Christian ministers, man, right? Because they are the reason our people are suffering right now, man. These Christian pastors are the reason why our people, our babies, are locked up in cages right now, man. They are the reason our people are selling dope to each other right now and killing each other right now. These Christian pastors, they got something coming from the Most High God, man. Read.
And I will require my flock at their hand.
The Most High said he's going to require it, and he's going to require that, man. What's going on, brother? Do you see that right there? Do you know what that is right there?
I'm going to tell y'all something, bro. And this is just my opinion, too.
Okay.
As a man, I stand up on 2 feet. I just opened up my own business. I let go of my job
Straight.
and everything. I'm on my own shit. So I'm tired of working for the next motherfucker and not seeing myself as that. So with that being said, all of this, trying to blame game the next race, that shit is dead to me.
Is it?
Because I'm off my feet. Look, I'm on my ass. I started my shit up with $500. Took half of my last check and started my own motherfucking movie company.
See, the thing about that, That's great and
You gotta
dandy.
be willing to just get up off your ass
That's
and go do something.
that's great and dandy. But what about the rest of your people, man?
That's right.
What about your people, man?
Can I pull them up until I'm up?
I mean, you can help them out, but what?
I got 2 other brothers that I'm running with this business right now. All us getting up every time we get a job and go hit this shit. Same sentence. I can't pull that man up if I ain't got no job.
No, that's great. That's great. You should help your brothers, right? But at the same time, you say you're not gonna blame them, right? See, the thing about that is, the thing about that.
At the end of the day, they get up and put their pants on just like me. They get
For
up
real?
and go hustle just like me. Now they starting.
They don't gotta hustle no more, bro.
Their starting point is different from my starting point. Because this motherfucker right here, he went to his daddy and borrowed a couple $1 million.
And his daddy, hold on. I like you said that. And his daddy's, and his daddy's daddy, and his daddy's daddy, and his daddy's daddy probably had your daddy's daddy in chains, man. Right?
I believe it. They were insurance.
Right?
And
So that money that they're playing with was built on the back of your ancestors, man.
Right.
So you're gonna say you don't hate them for that, man?
I don't. Why? Because that was 400-500 years ago.
Give me that the Lord required it from the I need that.
Everybody pay it forward, bro. If you get up on your feet and you pulling up the next man, that's a great fucking
You're
thing to
from
do.
the past, yup.
Believe me when I say that's a great thing to do. Same season, if that next man that you're trying to pull up ain't trying to get up with you,
That's fine. That's great that you say you got your own business. That's awesome. But that's nothing, man. That's nothing. That's a little dent, man. You're not gonna read.
Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And God requireth
He said, God requireth, read.
that which is past.
So God is going to require that from them, man. It doesn't matter how you or I feel, right? God is going to require that blood from the white man.
This is what I'm saying to you. What you just said, the words that came out of your mouth is, I don't hate them. And that
That's
book right
great.
there, and that book right there that's in his hand, God never says he hates nothing.
Ooh! I like that. I like that. Give me Romans 9:13, and I need Malachi 1:4. I want to read this. I want to read this first. Give me Malachi 1:4.
Hate,
He hates.
That's right.
No, he hates men. And he hates, look, listen, he hates sinners. Look, he hates sinners. Because the Christian church says that he hates sin and not sinners. I'm going to point that out, one, too. All right? But he hates men and the descendants of that man. Watch this. Read.
Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished.
Edom was the father of Jacob, which is Esau, right? That's the progenitor of the white man. Read.
Edom is the brother.
Yeah, the brother of Jacob, Salakia.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished,
That's Edom saying they are impoverished. Read.
but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts,
Thus says the Most High God. Read.
they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So God hates these people and God's indignation forever. Great. Read.
that's not hate. Again, that's not hate. Give me verse 2. I need to hear that word.
Verse 2, I have loved you, said the Lord.
He said he had loved. He had loved Jacob. Read.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
God hated Esau.
It's a question.
God hated Esau. Great.
Sounds like a question to me.
Read.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Great. Now give me that Romans 9:13.
I got another one for Star afterwards. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So it wasn't just only Esau. He hates the descendants of Esau too. Right? Now read.
Proverbs 6:16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate.
The Lord hate. Read.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Doesn't the white man shed innocent blood today? Hold on. I need you to answer that. Doesn't the white man shed innocent blood today? Wasn't it?
The black man, the Hispanic man, the Indian, everybody shed innocent blood. It ain't just one nationality.
That happens. I'm asking about the white man right now.
Exactly, but you narrowing it down.
Look, our in-house problems is our in-house problems. We can address that. But listen. But once one race does it to another race, that's an act of war, right? Right.
When you do it to yourself, though, that's the key. When I show a white man me whipping this man's ass, guess what he gonna think? He can whip this man's ass too. If we band together and we shake it off, motherfuckers stay here and talk it out.
Great. I'm not taking away from that. Look, I'm not taking away with the violence within ourselves, right? That's a problem. That's a problem we need to address. That's a problem. No, great. That's a problem we need to address within ourselves. But these, how not? You're missing the point because our in-house problems are our in-house problems.
Too narrow. You have to look at the broad picture. The broad picture is us doing it to each other first. Because if we stop doing it to each other, everybody else will stop doing it to us too. Everybody else.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. And they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter.
Fuck the oppressor. He can't keep you. Look, I was in that same mindset, bro. I've been working my entire fucking life and have not gotten ahead. I'm starting to see myself bubbling. Now that I said, fuck the white man, fuck working for him, fuck going to kiss their ass and make sure I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, fuck doing all that extra shit. Let me go get me. When I started saying that about me, my shit started changing.
That's great. That's great. The Most High might have a little favor for you right there, but honestly, that's great. That's great. That's great. Now, so what you're saying is basically you're doing fine, right? Forget everything else, right?
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that's an example for other motherfuckers to follow. If they get up off their ass, see how y'all banding together out here right now? If y'all really wanted to put y'all a business together where y'all can be profitable off of this shit, all of y'all heads together right now can make that happen.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's great. That's great. You're talking about riches here on earth, right?
I'm talking about in general, bro. Look, it takes for us to get together versus trying to be separate. And I'm not disagreeing with what y'all saying. Don't get me wrong, don't take it as that.
No, I mean, that's fine.
What I'm showing you is a different side of this shit. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, all of us might be doing bad. But if any one of us said, you know what, today is my day to start moving forward and really mint that shit, really stuck to that shit like I felt like I just did when we opening my own shit, you can move forward in life, bro. You can move forward in life, you can pull other motherfuckers forward with you. This nigga can come with me, this man can come with me, this man. Anybody who want to jump on the tree can come at that point.
How you do it spiritually?
Because you're talking about like look.
I pray daily, I thank God for strength, getting up every day, keeping my family.
Psalms 49:6. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. That's at the end of the day. Because you're saying like, oh, I built a little business, but honestly, you're only gonna go as far as these devils let you go anyways, man. Right? That's unreal. And I hope you bubble. Listen, I hope you bubble and you take care of your kids and everything, man. I hope for all that, man. But I hope more that you repent and come actually start keeping God's laws. Let's read verse 8. For the redemption of their soul is precious. The redemption of your soul is precious, read. And it ceaseth forever. That's what we want our people for, right?
I believe in God wholeheartedly. God knows I ain't lying when I say this. I pump that shit on my children, and they know what's up. My children know about God.
So what does the Lord require of us?
To pay it forward, basically.
Yeah, what?
With love for Him,
Deuteronomy
teaching it
10,
to our
12.
children. Love for God, making sure our offspring.
And you
have
give me
that
the 1 John, or was it? Read. No, it's not 3 and 4.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So he's saying, you know, Israel, what does the Lord God require of thee? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
With all thy heart and all thy soul. Your heart in the Hebrew is your mind, right? Read.
To keep the commandments,
To keep the commandments of the Lord. That's why we love the Lord, right? Read.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
So these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High had gave Moses to give to the children of Israel, that's what's for our good, right? Because in the Western mind, we're taught what is love, right? An emotion, right? But on a Hebrew is an action, right? Now, bro, just let me read one more picture. Read.
1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
That's how we love the Lord, brother.
Let me ask you a question. So, y'all saying that white people is supposed to hate people, right? God didn't gonna tell you he ain't every white's person.
We just read for you. We read that, man.
So it's
Fine, great.
it's people that you know that you believe that are white that won't see the kingdom of heaven.
They're going to be in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be there as slaves, man.
That's right.
That's according to the Bible. We're going to walk you there right now, too. Read.
Hey, man,
Isaiah 14
you know,
or Obadiah?
I love it. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies, fellas. I'm gonna slide on out of here. I love it.
You don't want those verses to prove that? To prove that? Because they're going to go into slavery. Thus says the Lord. Right? Give me, read.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel,
The Lord's going to have mercy on Jacob and then yet choose Israel. Read.
and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
We were captives to them, man. Right? Multiple, not just the white man. We're talking about every nation on this earth has had their hands in the oppression, in our oppression, man. Right? Even from the time in the antiquity all the way to today, man. Right? When our black brothers were in plantations, the Spanish man, which is another damn European, had us on haciendas, which is the Spanish version of the plantation. They put us on ships, put us on slavery, and sent us to other Spanish colonies.
Right.
Same thing as our black brothers, man. So they are going into captivity, thus says the Lord. Right.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
They were our oppressors, man. And we're going to rule over them, man.
That's
Right, give me Jeremiah 36 and 16.
30 and 16, come, right here. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them.
Every one of them. I'm saying every one of them, right? Because just like the righteous Israelites
adversary is an enemy.
is an enemy.
All right.
Every one of them. We're going to keep reading.
Every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
So everybody that has had the children of Israel in captivity going into captivity, thus says the Lord.
Here go a mindset for you to think on right now. This is just a thought pattern. The captivity that the Bible is speaking of, when we were in chains back in the day, this is written well before we went into slavery in chains, coming to America. Well before we were in slavery leaving Africa, well before the Spaniards started doing this. This is well before that time frame. You're reading from Old Testament, so this is before Christ even touched the earth.
Great.
So, with that being said, Right now, you don't see that happening unless you're going out and you're doing something fucked up. And you go to jail for it. And you're paying for it.
That's called slavery, right?
That's right.
It's
That's the
voluntary-
13th Amendment, right?
voluntary in servitude. And if you go and smash somebody right now, you don't think you're supposed to pay for it on this earth too?
Look, listen, I'm not saying that you should go break a law, right? Because some of these laws that the white man has, it's not really against the law of the Lord, right?
Understood.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying go break the white man's laws. Trust me, I'm not saying that.
I'm about to tell you, because on this earth, you're going to pay for it right now. When you go to heaven, if you make heaven, because a lot of us that feel like we're doing God's work, and I'm not knocking y'all, believe me when I say that. You know I ain't lying, it's in this Bible. You feel like you're doing God's work, and when you make it to the gates of heaven, he's going to say to you, fuck out of here, you wasn't doing that for me.
Listen, man.
Am I lying when I
I'ma
say
tell
that?
you like
There's a
this.
lot of people that's walking this earth right now, preachers, teachers, evangelists, walking this earth right now, feel like they're doing God's work. And that shit is dead. It's dead to God. God forgive me for cussing you in your name is dead. It's not just him. It's plenty of us. There's 2 or 3 of us in this group right here that's gonna get looked at that same way.
How do you know that, though? How do you know that? Because you're putting yourself in the place of God right now, saying that.
Watch
that
this. Watch this. Is in that Bible. That's why I know that. In that Bible, it says going to be plenty men that come to the gate that feel like they did his work the whole time they were on this earth. And you're going to shut them off. Because they was on some bullshit while they was down with you.
I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying. I
You know
know
what
what
I'm
he's
talking
saying.
about, bitch.
But that's not actually what he's saying, bro. Like what you're saying. Basically, I don't know you. Yeah, that's. I never knew you. But actually, as a matter of fact, let's go there because a couple verses above there, it's actually talking about teaching the law. Actually, and that's the Christian churches. They don't teach the law of
Like I
God.
said,
Man.
I was raised in the Bible, man.
Oh,
My
really?
grandpa preached.
Oh, really?
God bless the dead. My grandpa died last year. I was living in that boy every Saturday
Hey, did he tell you? Did he tell you that you were an Israelite though?
Every Saturday morning, I got a Judah name, Israelite name, and everything. When I tell you this about
Matthew 7 and what?
boy, raised
Read,
to a grown man in the
machine?
church, and I did all that.
You got all that, no.
Started 16. He talks about the laws. Yeah, so you go to beware to the false prophets. 15.
Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing.
That's what he was talking about. A lot of people saying that they're the men of the Lord, but they are false prophets, wolf in sheep clothing. Me.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
You shall know them by their fruits, right? Read.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
So a good tree is not going to bring forth evil fruit, right? But a corrupt tree is going to bring forth evil fruit. That's what it's saying. And when the Christian church saying God's laws are done away with, what is that telling you? They're bringing forth corrupt fruit, right?
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
So him that doth the will of the Father that is within heaven. What is the will of the Lord? Psalms 40 and 8.
Well, I'm a white man was married to a black woman, so
Psalms 40 and
I'm
8.
not about color.
You're a white man? So
Married to a black woman.
your ancestors did this?
Nope.
Your ancestors did
Not
this?
mine. Not mine.
Oh, your ancestors were Irish?
Yeah.
You didn't know that the Irish had slaves too?
They were slaves.
No, they were indentured servants. They weren't slave masters.
I got a black wife.
Listen. The Irish didn't have Haitian slaves. The Irish have Haitian slaves.
No.
They didn't.
Not my family.
They didn't. The Irish did. Oh my God. Hey, so we're not Irish because we're not the same people because you live up there and get the hell out of here. You're a devil, man.
That's right.
Right? Yeah, they're not Koreans, right? Fuck out of here. Right? Yeah. So you're saying only the ones that do the will of his Father will enter in. What is the will of the Lord? Read.
Psalms 40:8. I delight to do thy will. Oh my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
Read.
That's right.
That's right. Give Hitler a round of applause. That's right. It ain't no 6 million of them died. Let's just keep it real. Right. He was a righteous devil. No, but on the real, ain't no 6 million of them. Come on. The Holocaust. Read.
Psalms 40:8. I delight to do thy will. Oh my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
That's the will of the Lord, right? So going back to what Yahweh said, only the ones that does the will of the Lord will enter in, right? And the ones that are not doing the will of the Lord, he's saying, get from me, I do not know you, right? So that's what he was actually touching on, but he was conflating that with Revelations, you know what I'm saying, about the gate and yeah. But that's the Christian church for our people, right?